bomb gets nothing effect. Has that one taken away by Troy Hellman. It seems like this could be.
All right, guys, this is Brick McVictory here with Owl Recap. I'm here with Jayne of the Dow's Fuel. Just going to ask a handful of questions. So how does it feel to break the streak of only winning on the weekends?
Well, rather than only winning on weekends, the thing that we really wanted to do was stop Shanghai Dragons' win streak and start our own. So having done that, we didn't want to be the first team to lose to the Shanghai Dragons. Thankfully, Boston took that honor from us. But stopping that win streak and then finishing it up with that second victory puts us into a great position for playoffs. So I'm super excited, and that's really what matters to us.
Last week, I think you guys played them as well, right? And it was a 3-2 finish for you guys with a win. And then this week, you 4-0'd them. Do you think playing them last week actually gave you an advantage to like a free scout for this match?
I think we actually had more of an advantage last week because the Shanghai Dragons actually had a map, or a series rather, to play the day before they played us. So we should have had more advantage last weekend because Shanghai Dragons had to prep for more than just us. But that was a lot closer because, we more or less outplayed ourselves, made quite a few mistakes. However, coming into this week, we only had one game. It was against the Shanghai Dragons. We had all the VODs, all the comms, all the time in the world to make sure that we knew everything Shanghai Dragons was going to do, and we were ready for them.
So that leads me to my next question. How do you feel about playing one match in a week versus two in a week? Is there an advantage there that's inherent?
I don't think that playing two series in the course of like one weekend is really that big of a deal as long as they're not back to back. So if you do have, for example, a game on Friday and then you also have a game on Saturday, that can be really challenging because you have to prepare two strategies without really time to review for the second set. And sometimes things can get mixed up or jumbled. But when you do have that extra day, you can just make sure that everybody's ready, calm, collected, and ready to go for that next match. So, it's certainly more work and a lot of work, but no, I think that 2 games in a weekend is very manageable.
Yeah, I think in the NBA they've even done the same thing, like the second back-to-back game where you play one night, then the next night teams were losing like some ridiculous percentage, and they've limited that as well. So do you think that the league will do that going forward next season?
I'd like to see it. There's a lot of cool things that are going on with the actual scheduling, like us playing Shanghai twice in basically the same week, one week to the next. That's interesting because you get to see the teams face off initially, and then the teams have 1 week to prepare for each other again. And so it was really quite enjoyable to kind of have already played them, to have made mistakes and know exactly where we need to improve to come back and get that 4-0. So, it's a battle of the minds, as it were. And I'm sure Shanghai Dragons coaches were doing the exact same thing, but we came out on top. So I don't really mind the peculiar or the neat parts of the scheduling that the Overwatch League has done. So the one thing that I would change is not 2 matches, one day after another.
So this season, we've actually seen a lot of really good trash talk out of some of the teams. How have you felt that your part has played in that? And is it in good fun, or do you find that there's a strategy behind it?
It's all in good fun, and I'm not going to talk trash to teams that are on the weaker side of things, and I want to kind of make sure that anything that I'm saying is something that we can back up. So, people thought that Philly, for example, was a really good team, and Carpe is a fantastic player. But, they're not too far above us. In fact, right now they're below us, and I wanted to kind of show people that we were confident in that and then back up the words that we had. So, there's there is certainly a bit of fun to it. I never mean it in a mean-spirited way. Especially the feud, if you would call it that, between myself and Carpe. Like, Carpe is still undoubtedly one of the best players in the entire league, not just on DPS, just overall. So everyone here is, they're competent professionals. And, at some point, somebody's got to lose the game. And you know what? It's fun to rub the salt in the wounds once or twice.
Well, and I think part of that is coming with the parity that we found in the leagues having this year. A lot of teams are very close. Even the top teams don't seem to be miles ahead of the others. But that being said, is there any team that you think would be necessarily meta-proof?
I think New York. You have to say New York. A lot of people, I saw some commentary on social media where people are like, wow, this brand new team from the Vancouver Titans, they're doing like so well, but they've got a storied history in Runaway and they're run through Korean contenders. But New York, despite what happened with the end of the season there last year and them not actually making it to the finals, it being between Philly and London. That was kind of like the one blemish. It's a large blemish, but it was the one blemish in kind of the franchise's history for New York, and I don't think they'll make that mistake again. So they're a great organization. They've got great players, and I think just like last season, this season they're going to be the team to beat.
Transitioning back to Vancouver, who you mentioned, do you think some of Vancouver's success is their familiarity with the GOATS meta and being able to have ran that so much in the Korean contenders scene?
One of the things I think that gives Vancouver a lot of strength as a team is that they have experience playing together, and they've been very good together, so they have confidence. And I think one of the things that has surprised me the most with my kind of recent participation in league level events is how much really, truly confidence matters, and how players act and perform differently under the stresses of land play and stage play. So Vancouver are obviously very confident and very trusting of one another. So even if they did not have the most mechanically skilled players or the most knowledgeable players, that confidence and trust between the team, between the players themselves, will take them a long way, as long as they don't have some sort of crisis of faith and kind of living in a new country doesn't get to them.
Yeah, a lot of good unit cohesion there.
A lot.
So recently, Blizzard announced a massive change to the PTR. Well, it's in the PTR, but new patch. There's like 16 new hero changes and releasing a new hero, I believe. Is there a specific change that you find will be maybe meta changing?
Oh, all of them. We've been taking a look at the PTR, of course, privately amongst the team, both with the players and the coaches, and then we held a PTR Pug, which is a pickup games. We assembled a whole bunch of pros from a lot of different teams, and we were trying out different compositions and trying out all the changes. And I think everybody kind of like walked away from that even more confused about like what the meta was going to be. So the pros have absolutely no idea what's going to happen to the meta. If somebody tells you that they know, they're trying to sell you their prediction, they're wrong. Don't buy it. Nobody has a clue what's going to happen, but it's going to be exciting.
So last question for you. If there was one thing you could tell your fans about yourself they may or may not know, what would it be?
One thing I could tell my fans, I miss you. That's the thing I want to say. Of course, before I got into the league, I was quite active on Twitch and YouTube, and I wanted to kind of go into this season ready and giving Dallas Fuel everything I had, and of course that required me to kind of back off on the amount of content I was creating on YouTube and Twitch, but it's just been killing me. I want to get back to it. So if you're one of my fans out there, thank you so much for supporting me, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, you guys heard it. Hang in. He'll be back. All right, that's it here from Al Recap, guys. Thank you so much.